Fine Friday. And as usual, for the last few weeks, it seems that folks know, or their computers know, when we're about to start a live stream and decide that they're going to give us all kinds of grief right before we get started. So we're a little late today, but hey, better late than never, right, Keith?
Yep, exactly.
Happy days. Happy days. So, Jennifer, did you enjoy your ice cream this afternoon?
I did. That was nice.
Yeah, we kind of decided we wanted to have a little bit of a switch in our routine and have a little ice cream. It was a nice day today. Beautiful out there, isn't it? Yep. Not going to stay that way, though.
No.
Nah. It's all right. We'll live. It'll be 100 and we'll complain about that soon enough, right, Keith?
Yep.
So, Keith, what do we got on the agenda today?
Well, it looks like we're going to talk about the old blue screen of death. I think we had a few computers come in. We'll talk about that and, how to properly shut your computer down so you can avoid that. Mm-hmm. And then I guess it's that time of year where there's seasonal workers and it's any time of year for staff changes. So we'll talk about some of those things and concerns as well.
Give us an Elvis impression. Can you do that?
I can't do an Elvis.
You can't do that?
No.
We're caught in a nap.
And I don't even know the reference. So
You don't. Oh, you're not. You don't know. We're caught in a trap. Oh, you are way too young to know that song. Yeah, I'm not a big Elvis fan, but
I have no idea what it was when you showed me. So
you older folks will understand that. And now the song is stuck in your head. I'm sorry. But yeah, we're going to talk about how to get out of an app and how to get out of those Microsoft scam things. We're going to show you how to do that because they're fake. But in between then and now, we're going to have like this little 10, 15 second ad.
The Residential Protection Plan by HonorBound IT is the best support and service for home computer users. You get top-notch antivirus, backup, and remote support. Plus, if you need in-store service, it's free. Visit us at 109 Norris Avenue, McCook, or call 877-686-6642. Your digital peace of mind starts here.
Welcome back. So, we're going to be doing the stuck in an app thing. And I've got my computer. Let me just go get it here. Jennifer, can you put our computer on there?
Heading that way.
Hit that button. There you go. All right. So a couple of things might happen. We had one person, they had an application and it was Word. And for some stupid reason, they couldn't get out of it. They couldn't close it. They were unable to hit that little X in the upper right-hand corner up here to close the app. So how I taught them how to do it is to hit Control-Alt-Delete. And then you hit Task Manager. And that brings up this little screen here. And you'll see Microsoft Word right there. You click on it. And then you see up here, just hit End Task, and then your computer will 99.999% of the time close the app. If you can't Control-Alt-Delete and that doesn't work, then you're going to have to hold the power button down for 10, 15 seconds until the machine physically shuts itself down, which is a last resort because we'll talk about that at the very end on when we talk about the blue screen of death on how to shut your computer down correctly. But another thing that we noticed when we have people that get that Microsoft pop-up screen, you might see this. Jennifer, you were saying this one here was probably the one that you got the most.
That's the one that I've been seeing a lot here lately.
Yep. And you can do the same thing. Now, typically it doesn't show in a browser like this. it fills up your entire screen, and you can't do anything. It might be shouting at you saying, don't shut down, or your IP address has been tracked, or what have you. There's going to be some sort of scary message on there, and it may be yelling at you. But all you do, again, is Control-Alt-Delete, Task Manager, click the Google Chrome or Edge, or you might be using Firefox or DuckDuckGo or whatever browser that you're using, then click End Task. Because there'll be no little X on that. It'll fill the whole screen because they don't want you to do anything but call that 800 number. And that would be a very bad thing. You don't want to call that 800 number because it's not Microsoft. So, we'll talk about the shutdown thing here soon. But we've had, like a lot of seasonal workers, we have a client that does traffic cones and the like. And Keith, you did a lot of work on that today.
Well, wasn't too
It
much.
wasn't a lot.
No, they're growing, and so they added a few new employees. And I don't think these are seasonal. I think these are permanent employees. But some places do add seasonal employees. As you part-time, full-time, however much time. So,
Hello?
but anyway, another thing that we do for these people is that
Can I call you back?
I'll wait till he's done talking.
Oh, then call me Monday. Bye.
The old call me Monday trick.
Well, yeah, as a vendor. You can unmute me now.
The old Avengers. Sometimes Greg gets calls from the Avengers during our live stream because
Vendor.
Avengers unite.
Vendors, yeah. We're not the only people selling stuff.
No, we're not. But on Friday afternoons, God, these guys should know better. Why are they still working? It's Friday afternoon.
Yep.
Log off, kick back, join the live stream.
We're not buying nothing on Friday afternoon. When was the last time I bought something on a Friday afternoon over the phone?
I don't know. That's a good question.
It's called never. Yeah.
Staff changes, that's something that just we go through a lot. And, one of the deals we have with one of our contracts is we actually manage their user accounts. So, they authorize us to set up email accounts, create reset passwords, whatever it is that they need us to do for the users. If the user leaves, they put us in charge of deactivating the account, resetting the password, making sure they're signed out of anything that they were signed into. Maybe they was email on their phone and they didn't want them to have that no more. So we just click a few buttons and we can force the sign out of all that and then reset the password so that the user who had left doesn't have access to that account anymore. And sometimes, there's a mutual parting of ways, sometimes not. And, we don't care how it happens. We just want to make sure that, the company is taking the right steps to protect their information. And that way, when things like that happen, they know they have a process and a plan in place. So we do that. And then, setting up the new users, usually we just get a phone call or an email and say, hey, we hired Scott today. Can we set up an email for Scott? Yeah, we sure can. Let's set him up in an email and a temporary password. And then, we just send that along to the point of contact and they can work with the new user without the tech support of us, if they do run into issues, that's why we're here. They can call us and say, hey, the multi-factor is not working. We think we got the wrong password. Sure. Let us help you out. Let us reset that. Let us work together to make sure that this guy can get started and hit the ground running and not spend a bunch of time on, signing into the computer and getting all the tech stuff out of the way for him. So,
Well, and the nice thing is that when you have a plan in place and you have us to do that for you, we typically have things set up so that it goes much more smoothly, particularly for my accountant clients that have a little bit more complex needs. First of all, they have to be able to, like, if somebody is let go or leaves, they have to have near instant, cut off all access to data, because their employees have access to a lot of personally first day with new mouth. Personally identifiable information like social security numbers, bank accounts, and all that stuff, needs to be cut off. But then when you bring on a new person, we have to have a process in place to be able to get that person, particularly this time of year when, tax season comes around, that, we can get somebody running as soon as possible, as soon as they walk through the door. And, we had that happen this week on both ends, person let go and new person come in the next day. And so, yeah, we had a plan and it worked well. It just, for them, their accounts are just so complex that it takes a little bit of extra time, because they have maybe a dozen applications that they use, like hardcore tax and accounting applications that they all have to integrate together. And then we have to set them up so that they can work one with the other, because it's 11 people in the group. So, yeah, it's very important to have your ducks in a row, and it makes everything run smoother. I don't know how some of these folks do it, that just don't have a plan. You're ended up spending, 2-3 days, figuring it out. Because I know the first few for us to figure it out, and that happens with every new client. You have to learn how their applications work. It took, a day or two to figure it out just for one user. But if you do that and you document it, and then you can just rinse and repeat the next time somebody comes in or the next time somebody leaves, no fuss, no muss. And, you are the document king. So Keith is very good at documentation. I think he likes it a little bit too.
Well, I have a bad memory.
No, you might, but that's why you document stuff, Keith.
Exactly.
Yep. He does an awesome job of it. So,
the other benefit, of having somebody to do that for you, like you said, we do this a lot for people. So, some companies, don't have high turnover or aren't growing at a faster pace. And so the person who may be in charge of creating a new email for this person, they may only do it, once a year or maybe less even. And so, there are benefits to working with a partner that does this, all the time, has processes and documentation in place. So that way you spend less time on, the tech side of things and more time on, focusing on the business and getting the employee trained on the right things. And that way they can just, focus on doing the job they're hired to do.
Money. That's what we want, right? Mm-hmm. Instead of getting hung up on some tiny little fickle thing that you might do like one time for one app. Mm-hmm. like said printer this afternoon. It had its own little special feature, didn't it?
They always do.
Yeah. Well, that one in particular. And we find, have you noticed that the cheaper the printer or the cheaper the device is, the worse they are to set up?
That is a common theme.
Mm-hmm. So you might not pay in money, but you pay in experience.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we didn't really have a whole lot to talk about this week, did we? We're just like nose to the grindstone doing garden variety. Jennifer, you had a lot of people with the Microsoft scam this week, didn't you? I mean, we had one reload that I'm aware of. maybe two. Oh, we've got one that you did and one that's in the bin to be done, but
Okay.
it wasn't like high priority. She's gone for a while.
Yeah, I've had a few, I guess.
Did you have more than that today?
Today I just had to help somebody with how to print.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, it was a specific page, March Madness printing.
Yep.
Yep. And then what was there? I'm thinking of a thread. Oh yeah, you might want to talk about the new Outlook that's replacing the mail app a little bit, because I think people are going to start calling and freaking out over that.
Well, and it's already started. Microsoft is they had two different email apps. They had, and I say Microsoft because Microsoft owns Windows, but one app was called Microsoft Outlook, the one we all know, we all grew up on, and we all use. And then there's the Windows Mail app. And so the Windows Mail app was the one that when you got your computer, it's already there on the bottom on the taskbar. You know, it's a trick, in my opinion. They want you to get to click on that. And it's a great mail app. It works. You can sync your Gmail, your Yahoo, your MSN, whatever email that you're using, and then you can get it set up. Well, Microsoft has decided to go with just one email product, which is Outlook One. That's the one that's been around the longest. That's the one that they sell. But they do have the free version that you get with your computer. And it's just a basic email. It's going to look a little bit different than the Windows Mail. It's going to have, if it's free, it has ads, and any free email will have that. So it's not any different than, the Gmail or the Yahoo, but it comes pre-installed with your computer. And so the change, I think it started at the beginning of this year. So a lot of customers are that are using the old mail app are getting into the new Microsoft Outlook that's coming out. And, it's a great, Outlook is a great tool for email. However, there are some features that aren't quite available yet. And so, in particularly one is a scan to email that the mail app made it pretty easy. When you would scan to email, you just click, share, and then it would automatically attach the document to the email. Whereas we're finding out with the new Outlook that feature is not available. You're actually having to download the document or save it to the computer first, then manually attach it. So it kind of makes an extra step. And hopefully they're gonna figure that out when that other app is going away. But
That sounds like a pay feature to me.
yeah, well,
It may or may not.
yeah, and it's an HP printer, so the HP, the HP app is integrated with their HP software. When you get an HP computer, HP printer, usually that stuff syncs up pretty good. But
They might update the driver too for the HP printer, but I wouldn't bank on that either. When a printer gets to be a certain age, they stop development on that sort of thing pretty quick. But yeah, pain in the butt feature.
well, it's probably going to be a request by many people.
So is that automatically updating in place kind of deal where, one day the Outlook is there and the mail goes away?
So right now, what it's doing is it's try the new Outlook. And so sometimes when you open up the mail app, it'll automatically open up the new Outlook. But you can, for now, go switch back to the old version. And, how long you're going to be able to do that, I don't know. That's up to
That's
them.
kind of like the new teams and the old teams. And I've been getting notifications with some of our clients that at the end of the month, the old teams will no longer be available. And you'll have to upgrade to the new teams, which is better, And I think the Outlook is better, but for most people, it's like new and different. Not everybody scans to email.
No.
I think it's much more search friendly, but it's kind of like the old days. Do you remember Outlook Express?
No.
That was, yeah, there used to be an Outlook Express, and it was that had a completely different code base than the full version, paid version Outlook. And then when they made that go away and they went to Windows Mail, there was really no easy way for you to move your data and contacts over without buying a third party piece of software. So at least they didn't hose people with that,
Yeah.
But yeah, I figured, we might as well mention it because it's going to happen to a lot of people. So we had 2 people come in with blue screens of death. We have some comments.
We had a comment, yeah.
Well, shall we entertain said comment?
Well, it was Stuart Dack.
Hi, Stuart.
Vendor, I hardly know her. But yeah, it is crazy how some people pay for emails. Well, that's businesses, though.
Yep.
Your common user's not going to pay. I would assume they wouldn't pay. I can't. People spend their money on crazy things sometimes. So
Yeah.
I'll stick to
if you're like your own personal brand, that might be one thing, and you're running a business with your own name as a brand or your vein, that might be something. But for most businesses, it's a very bad idea to be using public accounts, because you have no control over that public account. Where when you have a commercial email address that can be controlled through Microsoft 365 or something like that, then you have control over your data because your business data lives in the email. So that would be a good reason to have paid email. But for personal, I don't know anybody that has that personally. I don't know of any people.
Don't know any people.
No. But good question. Thanks for your comment. All right, Jennifer, we're going to show a little bit about how to shut down a computer, right? Because we had 2 people come in with blue screens of death. And what that is it's a screen that has a big old error message. It's light blue and might have a countdown timer and a QR code on it. And then maybe your computer might not start right after you have shut down your machine improperly. So we had one client who's a little bit older, and he's used to like turning the television on and off with a power button. That's, you turn your light switch on and off with a light switch. Why wouldn't your computer be the same? Well, your computer has to go through an orderly shutdown process. That's how the operating system wants to work. And if you hold down the power button to turn the computer off, it just might not boot back up properly. And so we did bail a couple people out on that. So what you're going to do is you're going to come to the little window, and we're on Windows 11 here. If you're on a Windows 10 machine, it's probably going to be to the far left, but you right-click the little icon that looks like 4 panes of glass, hit the shutdown, and click shutdown. Simple as that. So if you're one of those people that mashes the button, you have been explained to. End of rant. There are other reasons that you could have a blue screen of death too, though. You could have like a hardware failure. We've had a lot of times where, like, if you have bad RAM memory, or your hard disk is starting to fail on you, or maybe some files got corrupted, because none of these things are perfect. Kind of important to, if you get a chance, take a picture of it. It's really handy. They have what's called a stop code on there. And sometimes we can put that stop code and figure out what's going on with the machine. But more often than not, it's meaningless, and we have to use our other diagnostic tools to help solve your problems. Right, Jennifer?
Yep.
So, I guess it's time to talk about the kitty cat of the week, right?
Oh, there we go.
Got a new one. this is Kaida. She's our newest baby. She came to us a couple days ago. We couldn't find her for 21 hours. She had crawled in behind our freezer. But one of the other cats ratted her out, and we found her. But she's been kind of living with me in my room for the last couple of days, and it's a really lovely baby. But yeah, internet's for cats, right? Cats and cat videos, and sometimes dogs. So, well, what do you think, Keith? You think it's time to hang it up?
Oh, never.
Hang it up for the week? Because it's time for us to dance our way out of here, dude.
That's right.
We can't hear the music. We don't know the beat, but we'll dance anyways.
Just beats in your head.
Just for you, Tara, and Terry. Tara doesn't like it so much. Terry, he gives us heck if we don't do it.
True.
Got some exciting stuff going on this weekend, Jen?
Not this weekend.
No, I don't either. It's spring cleaning for cat boxes this weekend,
Oh, lovely.
and I have 7. So
7 spring cleaning.
one of the side effects of having a multi-cat home is that you need to stay on top of that if you want people to enjoy coming to your home. So we'll see you all next week. Thank you so very much for joining us, and catch you on the flip side.